Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, guys. Tomorrow night at this time, we'll be kicking around, getting ready for the kickoff of the 2018 NFL season. Guys, it's the Eagles, it's the Falcons, it's two birds that I don't give a rat's ass about. If it were up to me, I hope that the whole stadium would just implode with both teams in it. No, I wouldn't wish that on the fans. But seriously though, friends, the NFL season is now here. It is upon us, and we're ready to rock and roll. But before we get to anything else, it's time to finally put to rest and light a candle. For one, Earl Thomas. Let's turn the lights down for Earl and have a moment of silence. Jobu, you deserve this refill, buddy. And we'll pour one for hostage, Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, who wanted to be free. He said, if you don't love me, please release me, let me go. Show me the love by giving me the money. And I know when he saw some of those trades like Khalil Mack and everything else that he was licking his chops. And I'm sure Seattle felt the same way. Now we know the Cowboys tried to make a move this past week. They went from the third-round draft pick because Seattle said, you know, we haven't been offered more than a third-round pick, which was a lie because we had offered a second round at the draft. We got multiple teams that are interested. They're trying to talk it up and just basically highway robbery. Because the Cowboys came up, they said, okay, listen, we'll give you a number 2. Which I got to tell you, when you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, a franchise quarterback, well, we'll find out. But what is believed to be a franchise quarterback, he only went for a number 2. You're telling me that an aging safety is worth more than a franchise quarterback in his youth? I'm sorry, Seattle. You done lost your cock and picking mind, dudes. What the hell are you thinking? Now, here's the thing. You may have him here in camp. You may have won the battle, but I guarantee you lost the war. Yes, it's good for him. He's gotten in. He's not going to lose that $500,000 a week. And you can understand why he had to do what he had to do. We're already talking about $3 million. Gotten a couple $1,000,000. I've been happy with, say, $2 million. What it is on that situation, so we're going to have to move on. Although, we will say this much, the trading deadline is not here yet. And it may be that Earl Thomas decides, you know what, I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be here. And maybe he still tries to force Seattle's hand. But we'll have to wait and see if that does, in fact, happen. But I want to actually show you guys here where 3 days, 20 hours, and literally 50 minutes and 45 seconds away from kickoff for us. The offseason is finally over, and I wanted to show you guys something because a lot of people wonder, where you got Jobu? Why do you have Jobu? And can we get rid of Jobu? Well, Jobu started a long time ago. 2012 to be exact. And originally I started him because I had an Eagle fan, believe it or not, who said the Cowboys were so bad that not even Jobu could help them. So I made it for fun because it was a Facebook thing. And through the course of time, meeting different people, getting pictures taken, people sharing and things, it grew to what it is now. You and me sitting here having a conversation about what else? The Dallas Cowboys. But my wife ended up having one of those Facebook flashbacks that came around to one of the very first videos of Jobu, and you can see how much Jobu has actually changed. So let's take a look and celebrate the end of the offseason. Yeah, guys, that was one of the very first videos that I did where Jobu's actually moving around and stuff. And boy, does that take me back a long ways. And it's great because now we can be done with the off season. So I am ecstatic as can be that tomorrow, like I said, we got the Eagles versus the Falcons. Now for our Cowboys, we still got things to worry about because, you know, you always have people that get hurt in preseason. We've got a Woozy whose back is a little bit sore. He was limited in practice. He should be okay for the game. We had Kevon Frazier, who even yesterday still had his arm in a sling from it being popped out and popped back in. He was limited in practice, but he should be okay to play. Lord knows we got nobody else. And for the Panthers, here's where, when we look at our two teams, I'll be honest, it's almost a mirror image of each other. You got KM, and of course my phone is blowing up with people that are sending me messages about the Zeke Elliott interview, and I've got to check it out. When you look at the two teams, they're almost like mirror images. You got Cam Newton. Cam Newton is an incredible athlete. He can run when he has to. He throws the bomb. I mean, he really throws the bomb really, really well. But his receiving core, you're not so sure about that, guys. It's usually Cam gets the ball in there either by hook or by crook, by running it in or throwing it in, or they ain't getting there, a la Tony Romo, which was kind of like until we got DeMarco Murray and Zeke Elliott, that's pretty much how our offense went. But they've got a great defense, and I mean a great defense. That front seven is one of the best in the NFL. And now they've got a running game. So it's a little bit more ground and pound, but their wide receivers are really unproven. And in fact, Curtis Samuels, their draft pick from last year, he's going to be out with the medical illness. We don't know what it is, but he's not going to be playing. And we know that their offensive line is beat up. So when you're looking at Carolina right now, your defensive line, that front seven, should be able to put some pressure on Cam Newton. But here's the key with Cam. You have to have rush discipline. You cannot leave a crack. You cannot be soft in the middle. If you leave him a lane, he is gone. You have to rush discipline. You cannot. You've got to close up that pocket. Do not let him get out of the pocket. But like I said, his wide receivers, you got Torrey Smith in there. Other than that, you don't really have a lot of great receivers. You have a lot of guys that are unproven. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. You've got DJ Moore, but again, he's a rookie from the University of Maryland, you know, kind of like us. When you look at us, Dak's got some good footwork. Dak can run. I know a lot of you will disagree about him having a deep ball, but you look at our defense, who has been the redheaded stepchild for so many years. I think it's going to be a really good defense and a great front seven, much like the Carolina Panthers. So you're going to see a dogfight, and I think if there's an advantage for anybody, now Carolina's favored by 3 because they're at home, season opener, and there's a lot of unknowns with the Cowboys. But I believe that the Dallas Cowboys, having so much change, so many new faces out there, that you don't know what they're going to do. Rico Gathers may make the active roster for this week. Is he going to be put in there as a weapon? Michael Gallup, Alan Hearns, Cole Beasley. We haven't seen all of these parts on the field together, and we certainly haven't seen Zeke Elliott. And I can't wait to actually see this interview with Zeke, and I'll probably have something on the final word tonight about it. But Zeke, after what happened last year, is totally all in for this year, and I think he's ready to roll. Some people think he might break the all-time rushing record. I, for one, hope that he doesn't, because I don't want to see him shorten his career. But I'm hoping that we can get a good mix of defense, a good mix of offense, and special teams, and come away with the victory. Now, one caveat to this. This is another one of those strange situations that never makes sense with Jason Garrett, although there's a lot of things that never make sense with Jason Garrett. But generally speaking, when you win your first game, your odds of making the playoffs are better. But in the Jason Garrett era, every time they've won their first game of the season, they don't make the playoffs. But when they lose it, they have. I scratch my head on that one every time because it just does not make sense at all. But guys, we are ready to rock and roll. We will live stream tomorrow night because we have so many Eagle trolls that want to be in here. And of course, Brethren, the resident Atlanta Falcons fan, definitely wants to be here, of course, instead of watching the game. So we'll live stream the whole game from, say, 8 o'clock until the end of it and so forth. So be sure to tune in. And we're going to be watching, of course, practice tomorrow, see what the Cowboys do, see if we can get a couple little tidbits about who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. But as always, guys, I want to thank you all for all of the support that you've given me. This channel, we are looking to do some new things. Maybe one of these days I'll even get somebody who will run all the boards so I don't have to kind of push all the buttons and stuff. But as always, I will see you guys here soon.